See? Every week, it's like, is it speeding up? Is it slowing down? Is it my computer? Will we ever know?
Or is it my computer? Like, I
Right.
don't know. I didn't hear it speeding up or slowing down. How are
Okay.
you, my
Right.
friend?
Blessed. Grateful. How are you?
Right? I am excited to be here. I'm
Excited to be on 200.
right?
Yes.
Episode 200, right? Taking a pause to celebrate, to
Mm.
bring on some special guests, to talk
Hmm.
about where we've been,
Yeah.
where we are, and where we're going.
Mm.
Like, good stuff.
And we
Good.
get an extendo version because it's just us for the first hour, and then we can
Mhm.
bring them in however they trickle in, whether it's for the first side or the second side, and it'll.
I think a couple of them will show up before the hour, but we'll
I
see
think
what
they will.
happens.
We know the ladies pull up. Let's see what type of party we have.
Should we do our official intro and
Yes.
kick this episode off?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey y'all, I'm Shannon Mitchell, a black millennial entrepreneur and Amazon bestselling publisher, author, and all natural product manufacturer. I'm a champion for your natural self-care, sustainable business care, and overall intentional wellness.
Hi, y'all. I'm Christine Gautreaux, a white social justice advocate, an international speaker, coach, best selling author and publisher, and dancing social worker who helps you upgrade your self and community care.
Together, we are a podcast rooted in the 8 dimensions of wellness and the co-founders of the Women Connected in Wisdom community.
And we like to get together every week, now for about 4 years, for weekly intentional conversations about how to be wise in business, relationships, and wellness.
Yeah,
How do
because
we do it?
I got some news to break to you, Christine. It's 4.5 years, my friend. We're going to year
I
five, baby.
know,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Going to year five.
So I think since it's the 200 episode,
Yes.
I know we've gained a lot of listeners over the past 4.5 years,
Mm,
and some folks may not know our origin story, or
okay.
they may not know how the podcast started. So
Okay.
I think we ought to take it back and
Oh,
say, how did Women Connected in Wisdom start?
okay. Would you like to start? Would you like me to start?
You start.
Okay. So, and we were just asking about her, right? How's Joe? So, shout out to Dr. Joe Veazey. I met her at church at Victory World Church. Coach Co writes about it in one of our Women Connected in Wisdom books. And we were in a little small group, and we had somebody in between us. But what we were saying was like in line with each other. They were like, "Are y'all friends? Y'all sisters? Y'all came together?" We were like, "No, never met her, but let's connect after a small group." You know what I mean? And so we connected outside in a little hallway or to the side of one of the rooms. I can't remember where we were standing. Maybe we were still in the sanctuary, but we talked and have been in contact since then. She was having this group manifestation Monday with Christine. Y'all had just started it, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm introduced to who is Christine Gautreaux. She organizes women's groups. Okay, she's doing it with Joe. Joe is dope. Okay, who is Christine? Okay, you know, I said 8 o'clock in the morning. That's early on a Monday. Okay, I'm working on my timeliness, right? Working on my entrepreneur circle, knowing that I need women who are like minded and doing similar things around me. And so I decided to start going, and we started meeting 8 o'clock. Well, I started meeting with them, right? 8 o'clock Monday morning at
You were
Starbucks.
usually the first one there. You
Thank
would
you very
pull up
much.
early. Yep.
I was working on it, still working on it, just being consistent, showing up, being intentional about being connected to what you say you need to get where you say you're trying to go. That's what we talk about here. Um, and Christine really impressed me with her openness to share resources. I love stationery. She shared this book, The Rocket Notebook. And it's like a digital notebook where you write in it once, you
Mhm.
can erase it, right? So you're not using multiple trees, and you can choose which platform you want it to go to, which drive you want it to go to, and it'll scoot over there for you. What I found is that I actually like natural paper, the way it feels writing. You know what I mean? So I learned that from that book, but I loved how
I'm curious,
connected we
since it's
were.
4.5 years, if there's a new product that might feel
The
like
the
that to
Rocket book.
you. Like we should check
Probably.
it out to see if there, because things develop all the time. So I would be curious if there's a product that feels more like natural paper that you would like, because
And
you love the tech part of it.
I did. And what I will say is an additional feedback, because I love feedback, right? Build it to
Hmm.
whatever spec. Um, I also found that I like the cleanliness of the text if it's digital. You know, sometimes my
Hmm.
handwriting, like the cursive might be a certain way,
Hmm.
or I might still connect my letters even if it is print, right, when I'm writing. So I was like, I wonder if they could clean it up and turn it into a digital version. But now you're reading my stuff and it's too much, you know what I mean? So that's something else I was thinking about.
Right. Well, I know they have
Yeah,
some of those products that do that now. So
they do.
that's
And
pretty
it's been,
wild.
but that's what we've been doing, is working through the updates and connecting different people to different resources. And do you want me to keep going in the story, or you want to jump in? How you want to finish
Oh,
it?
I can jump in.
Okay, go ahead and jump in.
So I loved those Monday manifesting mastermind groups, right? I had been running them. I think when Joe and I started ours, I'd been running one for 5 or 6 years, and one had finished, and going to
Right.
another one. And I loved meeting new people. When you came in, you were so excited, and we just started having some really incredible conversations. And I remember one day you saying, "I don't think people have conversations like we do, like different ages, different races, different religions, and just talking about how do we support each other and what do we do." And so at the time, I had had another podcast called Incremental Steps. It was about environmental wellness. And my co host at the time needed to step back and do something different. And so I was like, do I keep that one? Do I do another one? And you and I were in conversation. And I was like, what do you think about doing a podcast? And you said,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, so
you
let's
were
do it
like,
now because I always think about this. How do you feel about how I react at this part?
I love
I
it.
was wondering.
I love it. I love it because there was another word
I'm gonna
thrown in
tell
there,
y'all.
but it was
I'm gonna tell y'all
awesome.
what I said, and I don't know how this is gonna go for the platforms, but what I said, y'all, was hell yes, right?
Yeah.
And the because the podcast is one of those things in my life when you talk about purpose, and that's something that we were planning on talking about today with financial wellness, right? Hey Tracy, um, we see you. We're gonna pull you up on screen. Um, Sometimes there's the things that you don't know if you want to do, and then you have the opportunity to do it, and it's that struggle. Hold on. I'm gonna make space and let's pull Tracy's comment up. Let's highlight it real quick.
Yep. Tracy
Excuse
says,
me.
love, love, loved Manifesting Monday. It was a joy to
Yes.
be a part of it. Yes,
Yes.
Tracy Reese, one of our original Women Connected in Wisdom.
And one of our
Whew.
authors, all of it,
And one of our
narrator.
authors, speakers, incredible artist and friend. Yeah,
Yes. Welcome to episode 200, Tracy.
right?
Yes.
Man.
Excuse me, but yeah, the podcast was on those list of things, right? When I originally saw that Spotify had an offering, I was like, do I want to do this? And I waited to the last day to apply. And I kind of wrote something that a vague draft that I thought the podcast might be about. And the program was supposed to fly you out, train you all this stuff, right? And I said, I think I do want to do it. And I applied the last day. Didn't get it. That's okay. And so when you offered, that's why I knew that was, an
Right? The
emphatic yes.
synchronicity
Mhm.
of here we go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, and originally, do you remember when we were supposed to start?
You know I do. You know I do. January 6th.
Right? And
Yes.
instead, there was an insurrection happening in the United States and in our capital. So we made the decision not to start on that day because, first of all, in our bodies, we didn't feel settled. And we also were like, we needed to be paying attention to the news and what was going on. And we
Mhm.
wanted to be grounded and really feeling good in our bodies when we started
Yeah.
this project together. So we waited a week.
And when we talk about business, why do all that marketing, right, y'all? If there's an insurrection happening and it's going to bury it in the algorithm, like, let's go ahead. We talk about how to use time. Let's honor our bodies and the strategy and the effort and do this on a different day.
I don't know that anything slowed down since then,
Mm.
but we took a pause. We took a
Right.
week,
Yep.
and I will just have to say personally,
Mhm.
like us doing this every week.
Yeah.
over the last 4.5 years, when there's been so much chaos in the world, is very grounding. Like,
Mhm.
it brings me back to center every week,
Mhm.
because we are talking about wellness, and we're
Yeah.
talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness, and we're talking about what works and what doesn't work, because we don't show up here acting like we got it all figured out.
Mm.
Like,
Never will ever have it all figured out.
right?
Yeah.
And we have had just so many incredible guests over the last 200 episodes that
I know.
just I've learned so much. Like, when you think about our guests, I don't want
Mhm.
to we probably should have written some of this down.
No,
We're
I got it.
totally
Let's go. Let's talk about the ladies. We're ready. What's up?
What's a guest or an episode that still, like, you immediately think about it?
So I'll tell you what's been coming up recently, and I want to remember her name. It was a young black female. I want to say it was Brittany.
Brandy Lee?
No, Brandy, we
No?
talk about with her hearing and
Mhm.
the feedback that she gave us,
Mhm.
and absolutely right. But we've talked about her a lot, and she's still on the list, so we could talk about her, right? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it to let you guys know. Brandy is absolutely still top of the list, right?
One
Brandy
of our
shared with
fans.
us,
We love you,
yes,
Brandy.
one of our
Shout
women
out.
connected. Yes, shout out to the connections, and she shared that it was an episode like this, right? We're celebrating something, we're asking our audience what the benefit has been. And Brandy shares with us that she has helped retrain her listening by listening to the podcast in different ways in different places and testing the closed captions. And we know the closed captions are wrong, right? It's a little side note to all the you see the anime shirt, right? For the viewers, all these little not the hashtag, what is it called? The the
Titles.
subtext, the subtitles
Subtitles.
are wrong
Mhm.
sometimes, right? So Brandy's doing a valiant effort trying to use closed caption and make sure that she's testing her listening. And because she tested our voices in the different ranges, it helped her hear better and it helped her get that back.
Yeah,
That's
that
huge
was
for me.
after a cochlear implant. Yeah,
That's
it
huge
was.
for me as a woman who growing up felt like my voice was too deep. I said, "Oh Lord, that's a great reason. Help somebody hear correctly, you know, but
Right.
also rehear correctly in their spirit, in their heart, in the way that they think about things. I think we help people do too, you know. So
Mhm.
this young lady I'm talking about, I'm gonna pull up her name. I thanked her for her work that she did for the community, and I saw her reaction to it, and I didn't know why that was her reaction. And I went and I pulled up what ended up being the BET article. Hey
Mhm.
Shannon, we got people coming in, y'all. Um, And what it was actually a viral video of her white boyfriend going off on her in a hate
I
speech,
remember
right?
that. Yep.
And so I
Yep.
went back to do the I think it was this Madison Butler, Let
Mhm.
Them See You, right? And
Mhm.
so
Her
we
book
think
is coming out in October. I just got
I'm
the notice
excited.
about that. Me too. I
Oh,
pre-ordered it. Yep.
okay, y'all. Y'all pre-order is right now, okay, for
Mhm.
Madison Butler. And I didn't know when I was interviewing her. This was me and we talk about 200 episodes. Something I've learned to do better is to continue to do that research on the guests and everything, right? Because I
Mhm.
that would have been one of the first things that pulled up. But I thanked her for her work. And we talked about how she sees Black women now, right? We talked about her self image. We talked about the work that she does now and where she is now, and I just see that conversation so differently than when I was having it because I didn't know that that was part of the weight that she carried in the work that she did. That's a lot.
Mhm. Yep.
And I didn't know that that was a conversation I knew that was a conversation, but I didn't know that was a conversation we were having, you know?
I think that's a great point, right?
Yeah.
Because we get 30 to 45 minutes with guests, right?
Yeah.
If we're
Yeah.
lucky.
Not
And
enough
you
time.
never know what people are carrying.
Hmm.
And you also know our women that, and folks who identify as women that we
Hmm.
interview are more than just this 30 to 45 minutes, or
Oh
more
my
than
goodness.
just the project they're talking about
Yeah.
today, or
Right.
and we may not get to it, right?
No, it's so
Or they
much.
may not be willing to share, because
Right.
I think there is in this culture of social media, often we think I think some people think they're owed everything, right? And
Mhm.
that's just not the way we operate on Women Connect and Wisdom, but it's also, like, just not true. Like,
Even to the point where, I had to do research on it. It's like, what's going on with the way that content creators feel, the overwhelm of creating, but then even people's perspective on how social media affects them. But then also another group of people, the mandate for information. Where is all that coming from? And
Right.
what I found that I think was interesting was the royal family, because they're paid part
Ooh.
of the tax money. The part of the culture is we're going to know what's going on,
Ah, so
right?
you think it goes back to that?
Yes, because they're like celebrities, right? And then it's celebrities, and now we have all these smaller level celebrities, and it's people's expectation of
Fascinating.
the level of access.
White colonization. It's always an interesting thing, right?
Very interesting.
So before we bring up one of our women connected in wisdom, I
Yeah.
know I've read this on the show before, but
Okay.
I always, and we've talked about success on the
Mhm.
show before, but this is something that hung over my desk for years. And I just really, it popped up when I was thinking about today, and I was
Mhm.
thinking about 200 episodes, and I was
Yes.
thinking about our work together. So this is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the approbation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to give of oneself, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to have played and laughed with enthusiasm and sung with exultation, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, that this is to have succeeded.
Can you read the last line again? To have what?
To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded.
Beautiful.
Right?
I
We
love
got
it.
two of our ladies
Yeah.
backstage. I want to pull them up. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Shannon. Hi,
Hello,
Cynthia.
Shannon Ivy and Cynthia Phelps, Women Connected in Wisdom. Welcome to the stage, ladies. How the
Hey
heck are
y'all.
you?
Hey.
It feels like
Good.
old times.
Right?
Right?
Co's pulling up in the comments. We see you, Co. Wanted to pop
Yeah.
in. Yes. How are y'all doing?
Deshonda saying yes to success.
Yes. Breathing easy.
Yes,
Okay, let's read it.
congratulations.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
y'all.
much.
Coach
Courtney
Co
said,
says, hey,
yeah,
ladies,
go
wanted
ahead.
to pop in and celebrate y'all on your 200th episode. This is nothing short of huge. I'm so proud
Hmm.
of you, happy for you, and can't wait to see your next 200.
Hmm.
Ah, thanks, y'all.
Yeah. What were you about to
So,
say?
some of our originals are OG in the
Yes.
house. Cynthia
Yes.
Phelps, founder of Inner Ally. Shannon Ivy, coach, author, incredible human. Um,
MFA.
what have y'all been up to? I know, but I want y'all to tell our audience. What's something you want to shout out today?
Cynthia,
Well,
are you? Yep, there you go.
this year I have been taking a year to invest in myself. And Christine knows this because she was part of my care team, but I replaced both of my knees, and I'm also doing a lot of trauma based somatic therapy this year, and so I'm kind of like really digging deep on some of the things that I feel like I want to change in my life. And so it has been a challenging year so far, but I really feel like I'm headed in the right direction.
Beautiful news.
Physical wellness
And I
in the
hear you.
house.
Yes. Social wellness. Shout out to the friends who will come when needed. My goodness. Hold on. We
Shannon
got
Ivy,
the
you have some
victory.
exciting new. Oh, good. Ring the bell. I
Yeah.
love
That.
it.
Hey, this is the new victory instrument for this house. So Christine. Okay, Shannon Ivy, it's your turn. What do you? What do you have to share with us?
I am in a liminal time before a big old memoir hits the streets, and a lot of people know a lot more about me than they ever wanted to. So I'm preparing myself for things to be known.
What does that look like?
I don't know. It looks like
I understand.
it occasionally looks like me freaking a little bit out.
Understand.
It also, like, there's some radical honesty, and so I have to like be ready for the fact that some of it that I had to give myself permission to write the hardest things. That didn't come until like maybe 2 years ago. Hmm.
Mm.
There was an editor who read it, the editor that I worked with, and she said, "There's something in here you're not saying." Uh-oh. And I knew. I was like, "Oh my God." So that's in the book, but also I feel like like we know, it's like there's something about writing where it is actually things I couldn't have said verbally and maybe don't want to talk about when I do the talks. I'm preparing myself to be able to go, I don't want to talk about that today. Boop.
Beautiful.
And let
Right?
me look.
I
Boundaries.
like it.
Look.
Just what we were talking about before you came on about we don't know everybody everything,
Mm-mm.
and you get
Right.
to decide,
Yeah,
right?
whether I want you to read it or if
Mm.
I'm willing to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's a difference. Like
Hmm.
it's written, it's a third thing, and I don't have to like live it out of my
A
face.
new line. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Right.
Proud
I
of
didn't
you.
know. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
y'all are two really empathetic and sensitive beings who I know pretty well. And the world's been a little challenging lately,
Yeah.
to put it mildly, right? So, what is one self care habit or mindset shift that y'all have been working with lately that's been helping you in your everyday practices?
One of the things that I have been really considering, I feel like out on the sidelines a bit this year, but when the world goes to chaos, the work that I do, and for those that don't know, I work with people and I help them use their inner voice to really change their relationship with themselves to be supportive. And so that can apply to almost anything. And so, what I've been really thinking about is what is my role in the changes that are going on in our country? What are the issues that are really important to me, and how am I going to participate? And how, for me, how I do my work is, I think, the main way that I need to be participating. And how that's going to look, I'm not completely sure. But that's really one of the things that I've been contemplating. And I think just even allowing myself to think in that manner is, it keeps you from being in that state of shock or stuckness. I don't even think it was stuckness. It's kind of like paralysis, right? Where you're just like, oh. And so that's been very helpful for me to kind of keep a reasonably good attitude.
Beautiful. And I
Love
can
it.
tell you, y'all, this patio door hit my elbow so hard, I thought it was fractured.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. My elbow was ringing. I'm like, look at it. Is it fractured? It was hot at that moment. It was ringing. Like later came the ringing. And I thought about Cynthia. I said, I am so sorry. My goodness. Shout out to Cynthia. So helping heart rate stay low through difficult situations, through this difficult time is very important. And that's what you help do.
You are one of the voices in my head, Cynthia Phelps,
Yeah.
when I'm not being kind to myself or something's not going well. Your inner ally voice comes in, and especially your grandmother voice about it's gonna be okay.
Mm,
It's gonna be okay.
mm,
Um, yeah, thank you for that. What
yeah.
about you, Shannon? What are you thinking? Self-care habit or mindset shift lately?
Um, I've been thinking a lot about and working on trusting my intuition, which was not a dimension like in spirituality that I was very connected to. It wasn't something I really it just wasn't something I worked on until I needed to, because a part of what I was doing was ignoring my intuition and chasing people and processes and like bringing things into my life that like didn't fit. And then I would struggle. Why didn't it fit? It must be my fault. When the whole time I could have caught it much earlier and been like, oh, and beautifully released it out into the universe, for someone else, not to like harm it, hurt it, whatever, because I'm a more than a little bit Kadampa Buddhist. But in the practice of like, oh, this isn't for me. Okay. And then I get to the acceptance faster, release groups, people, whatever it is, faster. And that's doing its magic. Yeah.
I love that.
Beautiful. Very important.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say to it, Cynthia?
Oh no, that's brilliant work, right? Especially right now where it feels like things are very uncertain,
Yeah.
right? To really have a center that you're checking in with to know whether something is right for you that's gold right there.
It's been really interesting when like even the people I've trusted, in my life, and they have maybe disagreed with something or something that's happening where I've like, it doesn't worry me anymore that we
Good.
don't agree. It's just like, I see you caring, but I'm still going to stick with this decision. It's been so nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to add another woman connecting wisdom to the stage.
Hmm.
A rock star who has some
Um,
exciting news if you've been
Oh,
following her. Dr. Melissa Bird, welcome to the Women Connecting Wisdom stage, friend.
hey.
Hi, how you doing?
We're pretty awesome. And to be surrounded by some incredible women who are doing amazing things out in the world always feels good.
Always.
That's
I've
true.
been following your socials, so I know what's going on because that's the beauty of this community, right? We connect with each other and we support each other. You want to tell our listeners what you're up to?
I'm running for Congress.
Hey.
Yes.
Our first woman connected to Wisdom Congresswoman. I'm just so freaking excited. Will you tell folks where, what district, and also send us your link that we can put it in show notes so they can
Yes.
support you?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm Dr. Melissa Bird and I'm running for Congress. I'm running in Congressional District 4 in Oregon. And it makes up most of the coast and then goes a little bit interior. And I am actually primarying our sitting Democrat. So I am throwing my hat in the ring and challenging the woman who's currently holding office.
All right.
Congratulations.
Showing up and
Yep.
using your voice. I love it. Now, were y'all impacted by the tsunami watch yesterday?
Yeah, that part of the district actually very much would have been impacted. It didn't turn out to be as I think as big as they thought it might be, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we are running a very grassroots campaign. So I am running as a working mom and a small business owner and the wife of a veteran. And so we're running a really grassroots campaign and we're raising money for the primary. So I'm going to put my donation link in the comments. And oh, I got to connect my YouTube to comment. Yay.
All the tech, right?
Right. We can get it out there.
So, continue. Of course. But I'm really excited because this campaign, it's not letting me connect. So I'm going to put it in the private chat. One of y'all can do it for me.
Perfect. Yes, we can.
And so I'm really excited because I feel like now, you know, I have a long career as an activist and a lobbyist and doing policy work for Planned Parenthood and doing advocacy for LGBT issues and healthcare. And, you know, I've got this long track record, but I think the reason I decided to run now is because we need people who are holding office in the federal government who actually understand what it's like to experience what's happening with the federal government.
Right.
And so many people at that level of government have been in government for a long time, or they're, you know, they haven't lived in this world where we're figuring out how to pay our rent and our grocery bills are through the roof. And our utility bills here in Oregon in particular have been increasing and increasing because they are having residents pay for data centers and tech. So like all of, you know, the issues on the coast are such a big deal because of infrastructure and our agriculture. Like Oregon's coast does not have enough medical providers to provide care for the people who live on the coast, and tribal sovereignty is at risk. And this district holds a huge number of the tribes in Oregon. And as a Native woman, making sure that every policy decision that we make takes the input of the tribes and is in conjunction with the tribes is really, really important to me. So there's so much that I'm really excited about. And people are super, super excited about my campaign. And you can follow my campaign right now. We're building the website. Part of the reason we're fundraising is to build the website and build out my literature. And so I'm doing a big rally on August 23rd here in Corvallis, Oregon. So if you follow my socials at Melissa Bird for Congress on both Facebook and Instagram, all of that information is there. And I'm just excited.
When I saw your announcement, like my whole body lit up. I was like, yes. It was the best. You know how people disappear from social media and then they come back and like tell you what they've been up to?
Yeah.
Best reveal ever. So
Okay.
y'all, I want to add another incredible one of our OGs from book one that we know and love, Cecile Armstrong. Welcome to the stage, friend.
Hey, y'all.
Right?
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was thinking about you driving through Virginia. I said, oh, I want to stop, but it took us 17 hours to drive up here. I said, we're not going to add it this time. We'll do it next time.
All right, I'll let you slide this time.
I appreciate you, but I miss you.
Right. Well, now you're closer to her, so you can go visit.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about Dr. Bird's announcement to run for Congress, and yes, a lot of good things. Y'all want to catch her up?
Right. Shannon's got a book coming out. Shannon, when is your book officially coming out? I should know because I follow you too.
The end of February 2026, right before Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
Beautiful.
Whoop, whoop. Well done. Well done.
All right.
I'm so glad you wrote a book.
Yes.
Right. So excited. Are you taking pre-orders yet?
The press hasn't given me the link yet. So we're at the point where I'm about to get I have like 10 days to do final edits. And then I think the pre-order link will magically appear, you know, when I'm not connected to that part. So
yeah,
you're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there.
You can see the finish line of the marathon.
Yes.
Oh, it's big stuff. Cecile, come off silent and tell us what you've been up to, friend. And we'll ask you a question after you do your intro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what have I been up to? Mostly caretaking, and then a lot of leaning into my role as the Racial Equity and Transformation Director at Interplay. And that has been a lot. I've been leaning into my Virgo-ness with getting things organized and set up so that we have a structure and more room to play. But I've been loving every minute of it, and it's been good.
I love it. Well, before you and Dr. Bird came on, we had asked Shannon and Cynthia, with everything going on in the world, what's one self care habit or mindset shift that's changed your life lately?
Oh
What you been
gosh.
doing to take care of yourself?
I think focusing on eating well is like the main thing that helps, because I can tell when I don't eat right, I don't feel good, and everything else gets off track. When I can stay on my clean diet, when I can stay on my clean diet, everything else is easier. So eating well would be my number one thing. And then my second thing is getting outside with my feet in the grass.
Or this time of year in the water?
In the water is the best. Yes. Yeah, had a chance to meet someone in real life and spend time in the water just last week. Someone that I've known for 2.5 years, but we've only talked on Zoom, and we got together in person in the water, and it was so much fun.
Mm. What about you, Dr. Bird? What practice has been holding you up?
I have been reading trashy novels and mysteries and fairy books and I've been reading all the things. So I had this pile. So the reason I actually fell off socials is because I had both my knees replaced 12 weeks apart last year. And so
wow.
I left and healed for 6 months, and it was amazing. And then and I built my Substack. So I have a really amazing, I'll put that in the comments for sure. A really amazing Substack where I write love notes and prayers, guidance for the soul. And I and so that whole time I had this pile of like 53 books, and a lot of them were about the doctrine of discovery and manifest destiny and native issues, and they're really heavy. And then a whole bunch of them were, smut and trashy novels and mysteries. And so I interspersed them. So it was like one nonfiction, one fiction. And now, except for I have a friend who works at a bookstore, so she keeps adding to my pile, which is getting really annoying. But it's fine. I love it. I'm just kidding. Amber, I love you. Keep bringing me the books. But so I've been able to get through these books, and it's just been, my husband keeps saying the pile's growing. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's totally getting smaller. So I've just been reading and reading, and I've been reading since I was 3. And to be able to, I've had a book in my hand since I was a little kid. I always have a book in my purse. I have a book in my purse. And so I just love reading, and it's just bringing me so much joy and happiness.
I'm so glad that you're getting that space. Like when I think about you and your story, I always think about how many no's, working on the mermaid garden, how many letters you sent out, and you kept sending them out and 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 kept sending them out. And like you need that engine, to do what you're about to do. So I'm glad that you have that space to
well, and then good news. Thanks for bringing up the Mermaid's Garden, Shannon, because even though we found that property, we lost the property. So the property I wrote about in the book doesn't actually exist. I mean, it exists for someone, just not me. But we finally did connect with someone who's willing to do a demonstration project for the aquaculture farm. So
that's a win.
Happen in the next year and a half, and it is a win. It's like one of the things I very much learned in the last year and a half since having my knees replaced in particular is
I would love to talk about that with both of you ladies.
Is just letting it marinate. Like there's nothing I have to do. I can just be in this space and allow the space to continue.
Yes, so important. What about for you, Cynthia, Dr. Phelps? How has it been?
I went into this I made a pretty quick decision that I wanted to get both of my knees replaced. They had been bothering me for 20 years and holding me back. And I don't really think I considered the ramifications of 2 knee replacements, which is good. Do not recommend. You really think it through. And I noticed the same kind of space when you're kind of laid up and you don't have the ability to be like the productive person or the helpful person or these other like personas that we wear and things that we are. You just be a lot and allowing yourself to do that without any shame or needing to fix it or has been a really interesting adventure and real like learning experience for me.
I just have to say, Cynthia, that did you have them done at the same time? Yeah,
4 months apart.
4 months apart. So I was 3 months apart. The one thing that I realized, I wanted to get up and do stuff. Like I was 2 weeks in on the first knee and I was going nuts. And I was like, okay, there's nothing I have to do. There's someone here to take care of me. My kids are old enough, they're fine. The helper, like the social worker, helper, like overachiever, I have to go out and help everybody else. Nobody can take care of me person. Boy, did she have a healing moment when she got her knees replaced. And I don't know if you experienced that too, Cynthia, but I was like, wow, I got some letting go to do. And the symbolism of having the thing that roots you into the ground be the thing that needs all of the healing was bananas to me.
You realize how much of your my self-identity was kind of wrapped up in the things that I did, like the person that I wanted to be, right? It was wrapped up in my work or whatever. And having to just set that down for a time period is like, well, then who am I, right? You get to answer that question.
Yeah. It was, how far out are you, Cynthia?
I had my first one February 7th and second one May 30th. So
you're still in the thick of it. Yeah, I am 18 months out. I'll tell you, you're going to be so happy. You're not even going to believe it in a year. You won't even believe it in a year.
Are you dancing, Dr. Bird?
Oh, I'm so dancing. I'm hiking. I hike 4 miles every time I hike. I'm dancing. I'm like, my knees work so good now. It's the best thing ever. Cynthia, it's the best thing ever.
I totally
she needs to hear that right now, right? She's in the grumpy phase of the recovery as appropriate, right? Appropriate. So, yeah. Oh, y'all, look who is coming
You got
on.
this.
Look who is joining us. Tracy Reese. Look
Party
at
after
those
party.
glasses, friend. How
Styling
are
and
you?
profiling.
Good day, good day.
Welcome
I'm
to the space.
wonderful. Good to be in this space.
When you think about 200 episodes, Women Connected in Wisdom. And I would love to talk about financial wellness a little bit next, ladies, since this is our first hour. I want to make sure our listeners get what they were coming for too. Uh, what's been on your mind, Tracy, for episode 200 as you come on stage?
Wow. I think I like to say it's good to see you all and it's good to be seen. As my little one runs across the back.
Yes, understood. Hi, Sheila. We see you. We see you coming on.
Let's
Okay,
get
y'all.
Sheila up here too. Good
Hi,
gracious.
Sheila.
Hi there.
Hi, friends. Welcome. Tracy went on silent because she's got a new grandbaby since the last time we've all been in space together. Tracy, you want to finish that thought?
That's okay.
I'm back.
They could be part of the show.
Dr. Sheila K. Collins, welcome.
Thank you. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you so much. I was just asking Tracy, when you think about 200 episodes and Women Connected in Wisdom, what do you think about?
That's pretty amazing, to say the least. I just wondered the other day, I was like, how have they managed to do this every week? For 200 episodes. I don't know that I've been very consistent.
I hear what you're saying. It froze a little bit.
Yeah, it's
It looks like you're back.
optional. It's something that you all have committed to over the long haul, and you don't have to, but I commend you all for doing it, and it's been such a value add to the community. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, and Sheila, I saw you were about to start saying something too. Where were you gonna go?
Let's take her off mute. Sheila, we're getting a lot of feedback. So we're going to go on mute and see. We'll just go on mute. It may be because we have so many people on the stage, which I'm so excited about. But we'll go off. We'll ask a question, go off mute, and then you'll come off. And let's see if that works for us. Tell us what you've been up to, Sheila.
So, well, I want to talk about you. So I think, I mean, really, I mean, what it really demonstrates is that it's that keeping going, keeping going. You know, during the COVID, we had our favorite song, remember, is the Keep Going On song. And I'm not saying that your thing was all about COVID. I just mean that notion of it just takes one more and then one more. And I remember when you did the 100, we were all like, whoa, you know, because there's not that many that go to 100, right?
Correct. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And when I think about it, y'all, like why do we keep going? I think about y'all stories, because the inner ally, they need to know that when they're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you didn't get the contract from the movers and now they're a week late and you didn't put an air tag in the truck, could have went in on myself. But no, that's okay. Now you know for next time. Won't happen again. That's it. And I got to live with that for however many days till they bring my stuff and the business. You know what I mean? Because it helps. Somebody else needs that. Somebody else needs Shannon Ivy's story. Fight for the life that you want. So when I was tight yesterday, I said, you know what's less expensive than a flight and therapy right now? Going to the beach, because I live 10 minutes now. So I went and paid for parking. Okay. And I went to the beach and I fought for the life that I wanted so I could be here with you ladies today. And Sheila K. Collins, it's easy for somebody to be like, oh, look at her. She's skinny. She's a dancer. She's married. She's taken care of. And you have all this loss around you. And so you teach people how to make art out of it. And they need to hear that every week because somebody else got a knee replaced. Something happened in Virginia. Something happened at the school. And Tracy helps people paint with art. And I've been holding on to joy since, what was it, last December? You know what I'm saying? Since forever ago, holding on to joy, thinking about your story. And Dr. Bird, again, no after no after no after no. I heard what you said. This is my question. Let me ask again. That's it. They need to know that too. So, and Christine, I talk about how brilliant you are, how much I love you. Like we could do this for years. Again, 1 hour, 2 is not enough, but that's
Right.
why, because we all
And
need all of those things.
well, and shout out to Cecile, who's doing the work of racial equity and transformation when a lot of
Exactly.
people have paused that work lately
Mm,
because of the climate and the environment, and
yes.
showing up every day and having those conversations.
Thank you for
And
that.
yeah, and Sheila, since the last time we've seen you, you've got a new
Okay.
book out, The Art of Grieving,
So
and
good. We've been lifting
how
it up.
we lifted up. Yeah, I think we should do a search. It would be
Mhm.
funny. I don't know how we could do it, but to search
Mhm.
all the episodes to see how many times we call y'all's names,
A lot.
because y'all are our OG, right? Like y'all were part of the first 50 episodes. You were
Yeah.
in the first book. Here's our book that's so
Right.
lovely. And
Yes.
that continues to we continue to get testimonials about it and people
Mhm.
reading it and telling us how it impacts their life.
Yes.
And just I just think about how important it is that we show up with our authentic stories
Mhm.
and we show up for each other. And it's not always easy,
Mm.
right? Because the world's a hot mess right now. And everybody I know's got minimum of 3 to 5 things that they're dealing with. Big stuff. Big stuff. And that's just the stuff I know. There's probably more behind it. But I think about the power of community and the power of, okay, this person may be down and out because, Dr. Bird and Cynthia may be on the couch because their knees, but I can call this person, or
Yeah.
I can call them because they can actually talk to me because they're
Yes.
not out and running around,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Operate from where you're at. Yeah, of course. And that's
Go ahead.
no, please finish. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to ask another question and do a
Okay.
round of folks giving their input.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. But I want to add and piggyback on what you said real quick and make sure that I highlight Cecile too, because I think you're right that I skipped over her. So shout out to you for Partnership Power. I appreciate you. And Cecile, I want you to know like no shame, no blame, no guilt. Like that saves lives on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like that's in everything. So all of it, I feel like I really use every day. So that's why we're 200 episodes and 201 next week and to continue to figure it out because they need y'all's resources, and it's an honor to be able to know you and to help lift that up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to remind y'all and everybody, like if you connect with us on socials and tag us, we'll share it.
Yeah.
Like because we have 200 episodes now, we don't see everybody's stuff in a timely manner.
Yeah.
But if you tag us or make us a collaborator, y'all are our collaborators. So we will totally lift up your work in the world. So I want to ask, because we were just talking about being connected in wisdom, and that y'all are our OGs. So, which I just told a side note, but I was watching an interview with, I think it was Meryl Streep, that she didn't realize what OG meant, and she thought people were just calling her an old goat, not the
Oh,
greatest of all time. Um,
hey, and if she was a goat, she'd still be the goat. Like,
right?
yeah,
They were calling her the goat, right? And she just thought they were calling her an old
one of them.
goat.
Yeah.
And it was really cute.
No.
So I wanted to say that out loud. Like, y'all are our greatest of all
Yes.
time. But what
Yes. Thank
does
you.
being connected in wisdom mean to you today? And how's it evolved over the last 4.5 years? Because the world's changed a lot over the last 4.5 years, or at least in the United States, it's changed a lot.
I would
Just
like
give us,
to
oh, go ahead,
talk
Cynthia.
about that. Yeah. You know, over the last, like, since the pandemic, really, I feel like being connected is bringing a new meaning, like to be connected locally and to be in proximity to people where you're there being able to help in community with other people. I have been an online girly for a very long since the internet. That's maybe aging myself there, but it's true. And now, with what's going on in the world presently, just this real deep need in me to connect with people face to face and to, be at events with people, be healing in community with people. This is really kind of what's been on the top of my mind lately.
That makes sense.
I love it. We have another one of our OGs just came on. Let's see how it works if we add another person to the stage. Melody LeBaron, welcome to
Hey.
the stage. Woman Connected in Wisdom. How are you, friend?
I'm well, and it's so wonderful to see all of you beautiful women.
Thank you so much.
We were just talking about the question, what does being connected in wisdom mean to you today? And how has it evolved over the last 4.5 years?
Well, I heard Cynthia talking about community, and for me, it has grown into more deep threads of connection in my neighborhood, in my local community, because of everything I learned from Hurricane Helene. So because I'm a prepper, I was able to resource some of our neighbors during the aftermath of the hurricane. And I am now organizing a progressives prep community in my neighborhood. We're starting with an elder wisdom council, and then we're going to move into sharing skills and resources with the younger families in the neighborhood.
So important. Wow. What a beautiful transfer of skills from you and all your siblings and helping your mom move to now being able to help in those type of situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and thank you for mentioning Hurricane Helene because both you and Dr. Phelps went through that. Shannon Ivy went through it. Like, we had a lot of our women impacted, and it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who else wants to answer that question about what does being connected in wisdom mean to you today?
I do. I one of the things that's happened over the last 4.5 years is that I really stopped being afraid of my spiritual power. So there was a big moment where when I was just starting meeting you all, that I was really falling into my preaching. I'm a lay preacher with the Episcopal Church. And I was really falling into that. And there was a lot about my paganism and my magic and my spirituality and my witchcraft that I was very afraid that those two things could not come together because of everything we've been trained to believe about Christianity and witchcraft. And I started just listening to spirit and listening to God and listening to my intuition. And what's happened over the last 4.5 years is it has created this just really expansive opening in me where I have learned how to lead other people through the unknown and through the mess and through the chaos. And because I'm so rooted in my spiritual wellness, like my spiritual practice, which is all encompassing and all loving, and it has changed the way I react to everything. And I won't lie, like being off of social media for 1.5 years didn't hurt. Like I really had to intentionally connect with other people in a way that I just went where I was led to. And that's why I feel like my writing practice on Substack has become so powerful, because being able to share with other people my prayers and my spells and the words that are coming to me have just been really, really powerful. And I think that there's something so profound in that connection of connecting to myself by expanding my spiritual capacity has been just absolutely game changing in the way I interact and connect with people in the world. And I am so grateful for that wisdom.
And like being connected to the wisdom is so important. You know, we were talking about wisdom this past week. I was thinking about you ladies, of course, in church. And I would love to know, because I don't know as much clearly as you do, right, about witchcraft and everything that you've been working on for over a decade, right? Decades of your life. Again, you've been on this journey. Can you explain to me what you see as the difference between how you think about witchcraft and magic? Because we talk about black girl magic, we talk about all these different things, right? Where do you go when you think about it, and how does that align with what you felt like were two different sides of it 4 years ago?
Well, I think the first thing is that I really started to connect with my I've been on this journey for a long time of connecting with my native ancestry.
Yes.
But to really call in my Celtic ancestors and to really engage in a practice of understanding that I am a healer woman from all of my ancestry, not just bits and pieces of my ancestry.
Right, right.
And I know that I know that ancestor has become also a sexy word, which is it's irritating the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm really getting annoyed that it's becoming this sexy word. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that, like, when I just quiet myself and close my eyes and breathe deep and listen, I get called where I am supposed to be. And the tarot and the tool, the rocks, and I mean, my crystals, like the tarot and the rocks, they're just tools. I'm the vessel. I'm the vessel through which the Holy Spirit speaks through me. We are holy beings. We are the land. We are the medicine. We are holy beings on this planet. And we are here to give our souls an experience of what it's like to be a human being.
Right.
And we are humans being. And the minute I started embracing that and loving it, of course God made me. If God made us in his image, and we are love and we are loved, then of course made, you know, I'm magic as all get out. Like,
Right.
of course I am.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you so much for sharing.
And I think Shannon Ivy was about to speak a few minutes
She
ago
was.
about what being connected
I
and
saw
wisdom
her.
means.
What you got for her, Shannon?
Okay, I'm going to say some things. You ready? I'm coming out on StreamYard. In 2021, I finally clawed my way out of the closet as queer to my father. I know. And it's like the minute, well, my son, who's trans, we both came out at the same time in the pandemic, but I had to like move a little bit forward. He now lives with his dad in LA, by the way. That's another story. Marco's doing great.
Good.
And that, moving that out of the way, it actually connected me to a community that I wasn't a part of yet, which was my own dang queer community. Like I was free mom hugs everybody. I'm like everybody's favorite queer ally when actually I was really queer. And so that alone has taught me that there are consensual relationships. I'm doing this because it's like for age. So I was a baby queer and 50. I'm 50 now. And I needed to reach back to my queerbies. I'm going to have dinner with one of them. And so it's like there's this up and down the line. Wisdom doesn't have to look like age, because I don't know. I'm kind of Peter Pan-esque anyway with age. How old am I really? I don't know. But it goes this way. And I will find these little consensual relationships that are platonic, but like I really get to ask a lot of questions and learn from folks younger than me and the queer elders, the trans elders that are much older than me that have been like, you know, in the weeds advocacy wise, which actually taught me that maybe my place is in holding space and not being on the front line anymore. Maybe my space is in listening, you know, and like creating creative containers and like other just sort of like showing the hell up as the me that I am. And I don't have to like I don't have to go to all the protests. My partner is from a country where they speak Spanish first, you know, and she's very nervous about being in those places. So it's really been this beautiful dance. Christine, you'll love that. It's a beautiful dance of like figuring out where does the wisdom come from and how can I find my place of authenticity in it. And it was from coming out that all the rest of this stuff has unlocked. I couldn't have done it earlier. The timing was right, but also it's not bad on this side, I gotta say, not bad.
Yes, for authenticity. You know, that's
Yes.
one of the, and y'all know this
Yep.
because y'all been with us a long time, but we all are, our guests are like, what do your listeners want? And we're like, they want authentic stories and resources. Because when we show up as who we are and authentic and ever changing, like as I hear y'all stories from the last 4, ever changing, like just because like it's okay at 50, it's okay. Like, yeah, we think about babies and how much they change. And, but I think old school was we thought we had to be a certain way and always just be that way and be in that role or be in that. And just kudos. I look around this and I see the bravery and I see the dancing and I see the healing and yay.
Well, we look
Yeah,
at
I
our
wanna
baby. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. I
We
was
look
gonna
at our
piggyback on
babies.
something you said, Shannon.
Go ahead.
Do you want to go?
No, I just thought, you know, we look at our babies and we're like, of course they'll change and grow and be who they are. And like every single person, I'm looking at your eyeballs and we're all like, I'll love you, you know, just don't try to harm yourself, but otherwise I'll love you and you make your decisions and we support them and we forget we are also a baby to somebody. Do you know? So I just think about how lovely it is to apply what we give to everybody else to like, oh, me too, actually. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Okay. I was going to piggyback on what you said about not having to lead, because I spent, 2016 to probably 2021 leading, helping people, understand what was happening in the world and talking about inclusion and anti-racism and ableism and all the things. Like every week I was like putting out something to help people understand and tell them how they can get up, stand up, find your bravery, who to talk to. And then I ended up needing to do some serious caretaking and having some serious health challenges. And it was a minute for me to figure out that I couldn't do that. And it took even longer for me to figure out that it was okay for me to step back and take care of myself for a minute, and let somebody else lead and trust that the people that were around that needed my guidance were okay enough to continue without me having to keep shepherding them. And so, I just wanted to shout out what you said about being okay to not lead and not be out front, even if it's out front from behind, to kind of let it go for a minute, so that you can take care of yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yum, dropping the wisdom.
Right.
I want to bring another Women Connecting Wisdom up onto the screen. How many Women Connecting
Yes.
Wisdom can we fit on this screen?
Oh, let's see. There's a lot of
Eileen
them.
Dillon, welcome, friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. I apologize for being late. I had a client appointment, but
You're
here I
right
am.
on time.
You're
This
not
is second
late, you're
hour,
right on time.
6:06
Oh,
over here.
I thought I was an hour late.
You're
Mm-mm.
Good,
great.
I'm not.
You're not.
Come on
Yeah.
in here.
It's
What
nice
are
to
you
see
Yeah.
you
up
guys.
to?
Good to see you too.
I'm sorry, Christine, what did you say?
I was just saying, what have you been up to? We had just asked the women, we were going around and asking the question, what does being connected in wisdom mean to you today? And how has it evolved? And we said in the last 4.5 years, because that's how long the podcast has been going, but whatever time you want to put on there.
I would put my lifetime. I started out not being very wise at all. And now I'm in my 80s, as you know, and I am enjoying being wise. And I'm excited about sharing the wisdom I've been privileged to learn with the world. Your book was included, but just last week I became an 8-time Amazon best-selling author. So I'm writing, and I'm developing both a book and a course on anger mastery for angry moms and dads. And I'm working with clients and living my life.
Love to hear it. Love
Yeah.
to hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just, y'all, I look around this room and how, like, and I know production is not it's not how we measure our worth, but I also just want to say how many authors we have in this room and the work that you have put out in this world and that you continue to put out in the world and showing up for people is mind-blowing to me. Sheila, did you want to answer the question about being connected in wisdom? Let's get you on. Let's get you your mic on, friend.
Yeah. Do I have to do anything? Am I on? You can hear me. Okay. Well, I don't know. I was thinking, going back to when you started this, and I can see now that my problem was that I didn't recognize that I'm not in charge. I mean, I was taking responsibility for everything, not just what I do, but I was taking responsibility for the people that didn't like what I was doing, or had some problem with what I was doing, or they didn't want to hear about grief, or, and so, and I'm not doing that anymore. And it's just, I mean, I am a lot lighter. I am a lot lighter. And the other thing I'm kind of thinking about what Melissa said that's changed a lot for me is once I realized I'm not in charge, or I don't have to be in charge, then I feel like there's stuff trying to happen. It's happening, and I just have to listen to it and go with it and see what my assignment is. So I'm amazed at this point that I have these dreams of things I would want to do, but thinking I have to do it by yourself, it's exhausting. I can't do it. And besides, I'm too old, and all those other things. But anyway, but now, like one of the things I'm so excited about, one of my dreams was to take the art of grieving and have a retreat, and actually use art to do the art of grieving. So partnering with artists, and I'm going to be doing this. Christine and I are actually, and they gave me the choice if I wanted to do it in September or in May. And I said, well, I'm kind of old, so maybe we better go with September. I don't know. I feel great right now, so let's do it now. But realizing there's not enough time coming together. So that's it all.
I love it. I love it.
I hear what you're saying, Sheila. And I see your hand, Eileen, and I hear you, Christine, too. I just want to say to Sheila, because I saw Shannon Ivy's thumbs down, and we usually share likes, but it's thumbs down on the ridicule and the old. We got inner ally
Right.
in here,
And we
cheer
know
for
we
you.
say this about you all the time,
Eileen.
Sheila K. Collins.
Okay.
You can outdance everyone in this room. We know that about you, friend. So, and I do know that she uses her age to motivate getting projects on the calendar.
Okay.
Because she's like, well, I got to do it today. Because it's a good
I'll allow a
theory in
half
regards to, it's a good theory in regards to, we don't know what tomorrow's going to hold.
It's
right?
important. We
So
can
let's
phrase
do
it
it
different.
today. So,
And so, because there are, I'm sure, a lot of people that sit with that. Right now, I have the opportunity to be here with somebody older. I'm with my grandfather-in-law, and so we get to learn every day. Woke up another day. I'm grateful. But an affirmation I give myself is that I have time to do everything I need to do today. We got time today for whatever's supposed to happen. So no matter your age, Dr. Collins, I hear you. You have time to do what you're supposed to do, okay? Eileen, what were you going to say? I see you. You're on mute.
Found it. Can you hear me now? Okay, so I just want to put something in here. My husband died in 2016, and my son came to me and said, "So, Mom, how old are you, and how long do you think you're going to live?" And at the time, I was 73. And he said, "And how much money do you have, and how do you want to spend the money that you have? Do you want to keep paying taxes on this California house, or would you like to do something else?" So I decided I'd like to do something else. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yeah?
I was
Okay.
agreeing with you. I said, come on, yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I cleaned out, sold my house, bought an RV, which I'm in right now. You can see the
I
whole
think
thing.
about
I'm
this a
in my
lot.
RV.
Can I see the other side?
Yeah.
Show the other side. Show the other side. Hold on.
Oh, well, it's kind of messy. There's a bouquet of flowers somebody gave me
Beautiful.
on Saturday.
Enjoying the beauty. I think about this RV a lot, Eileen.
Oh, good. All
Yes.
right. Well, I know who to leave it to then.
I got you. Yes.
Anyway.
Y'all heard that, right?
So I've been in this RV since 2017. That's the way I live my life, and I've been all over the country. And early on, I closed down my psychotherapy business, and I closed off my radio program that I'd done for 15 years. And I thought, okay, I'm 74 now, and let me just kind of retire. Of course, COVID changed that because people came looking for me. But I then spent some time thinking about what is getting older all about. And what I envisioned was that I was standing, it was like I was in a baseball game and I was standing on third base. And my job was to get into home base. And I realized that there are two ways you can get into home base. You can go sliding in on your belly, or you can run in standing up. And I asked myself which way I'd like to do it. And I came up with, I want to go in standing up. And what does that mean? It means I have to keep living my life the way I've been living it. And not, if you want to motivate yourself by using your age, that's one thing. But to think, oh, I can't do this, or I better not get started. I mean, I'm now working my best to create a large teaching center to help people understand how to work with emotions, how to get in charge of emotions. And I'm writing and so on. And I'm intending to keep going. That's my motivation, and that's how I'm standing up. So I just want to encourage everybody who ever thinks of getting older, just keep standing up. Go into home base standing up.
I also think you might have to knock somebody over. You know what I mean? You got to be a little tenacious.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Or keep dancing. We like to say in Interplay, and Sheila and Melody, I know, are dancers, and a lot of us on the screen are dancers. And, we keep dancing, we keep moving, we keep showing up. Because I think about the practices. Somebody asked me just the other day, how do you keep going with what's going on in the world? Like, how are you doing this? And I was like, I'm so grateful to have my somatic practices. I'm so grateful to have this community and to have, like, I have the resources I need. Now, often I have to dig and go back. Like, used to, it might have taken one resource, and now it takes 3 to 5, but we've got them. Right? We've got these resources. Tracy Reese, I would love to hear your voice on about being connected in wisdom and what it's meaning to you these days.
Oh my goodness. So connected in wisdom. Connected, period, in period. Wisdom. I think over the last few years, I've learned better about one, being connected, but two, how important it is to align that and move from a place of wisdom around that. I think capacity is huge. Knowing what your limits are. I've learned that better. Battling through breast cancer and coming out of that at the end of 2024, and now kind of on the restorative side of that. It's holding on to what I learned in that is that a lot of stuff we think matter really don't matter. When you fight for your life, you just can't care about a lot of things. So you move a lot of things out of the way, and you have to use wisdom around what you actually put on your plate and who you connect to, why you connect to them, and I don't know. It just has, I think, become more defined for me, a lot clearer and concise about what you lend yourself to and what you take from the world. And that is just, how I connect not just to people, but to the issues that we're seeing around, the challenges that we're facing as a country. Capacity, wisdom, and do I want to connect to this? Is this really something that would serve me well and that I can serve well with the capacity that I have? So I think that's just it. I think it's just become a lot more concise. I mean, I think in my earlier days wanted to throw my hat at a lot of things or put my hands on a lot of things, and it's just not wise. It's just not. So I've gotten a lot clearer about that over the years, for sure.
Thank
Can
you
I-
for those words of wisdom.
Can I put a love note over to Tracy, a fellow cancer survivor love note. Do you know what you just said reminded me of? Do you know the We Do Not Care Club woman? I love her. And so I've begun to say, we do not care.
We
And
don't
hold on, put
care.
my glasses on the head and put other glasses on. But there are things after a cancer diagnosis or other like very difficult diagnosis, it makes what we do care about very, very clear. So I am like yes anding the We Do Not Care Club. And
Yeah.
welcome Tracy to the We Do Not Care Club.
Yeah, and I think it's not just the cancer, it's all of the things leading up to the cancer. Like there's a reason why I'm engaged in healthy community because there's a lot of traumatic things I've experienced over the years. And I wanted to support others as they journey towards emotional wellness. That's a big part of, what I do, whether I'm actually in business or just moving through the world as me on a day to day. But there was just so much I took on and took in. And the that diagnosis was the explanation point. It was like it just said, okay, this is where we are. I can see how we got here. I could see how dis-ease can manifest and take up space in our bodies because of what we have allowed, what has been put on us, what we've not always allowed, but I'm just saying the culmination of things that we've allowed and that things have been put on us. So I don't know. I think that was the point where I said, okay, from this point forward, we're really going to do it different. We're really going to do it different. This can't look like all of the other things I've gone through. It has to look and feel different. And I think that this community, I was in it before I was diagnosed. So the thought of connecting in wisdom a lot of seeds had already been sown around doing that. And other resources and other things that I'd involved myself in over the years to help heal just had put enough seeds in the ground for me to move through that and come out on the other side of it just very, 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 very clear about what we just ain't gonna do no more. We're gonna use some wisdom, period.
Yes, understood on the
Because
cleared.
I
because
say it
I
again, Eileen, because you were muted.
Oh, okay. I apologize for breaking in, but I got a breast cancer diagnosis just as I was taking off in my van, and my husband had died of cancer, and it was a small, slow growing one, and I wanted to see if I could do any healing. And one of the things I have learned is that something that is part of the etiology, part of the beginning of illnesses like cancer, is anger that we hold on to. And I know that I was angry because my husband became very dependent and he didn't like me to even go out and walk the dog because I'd be gone. And I'm a very freedom loving person, so it just drove me crazy. And part of the release was to acknowledge and work with the anger and release it and replace it with love. I just want to throw that in. And it sounds like you did a really great job with that. By the way, I treated my cancer alternatively. I did Qigong, ate a raw diet, took supplements, and worked on anger. And I was under the care of the head of breast oncology surgery at Duke Medical Center in North Carolina. After a year, I had not healed the cancer, but it didn't grow at all. And I didn't have to do chemo or radiation. So I think that working with the anger, especially, made a big difference in that. And we are all taught to hold anger inside, and it's the worst thing we can do. And thank you for
I
listening.
agree. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Eileen.
Thank you for sharing your stories. I know everybody's story has different nuances, different ways they've done things. And, we tell our listeners, there's so many resources, there's so many avenues, there's so many ways. And that's what's fun about being connected to 200 episodes. Like, it's like, take the wisdom that resonates with you and leave what's not yours, you know? And I think that, yeah, I love all y'all. I love y'all's resources. I love your wisdom. I love, like, I just feel so very lucky to be connected to so many amazing humans, and a congresswoman. I mean, the fact that I know y'all weren't here, Melody and Eileen, but Dr. Melissa Byrd is running for Congress in Oregon. So our first woman connected in wisdom. I think Sheila, were on, not on, yeah. So I mean, we like y'all. Come on. Who is in this room? Like, this is nuts. Shannon, I've been asking the last couple of questions. You want to ask one?
Sure, let's see. Let's see what else I wrote about earlier. We talked about the self care. We talked about connecting in wisdom. Oh, this is what I was thinking about. If there was one seed that you could sow with our listeners today, what would you sow today for our 200th episode? I see you, Melody. Go ahead. You can go first.
I would love to sow the seed that in order to feel prepared or feel more prepared for the next natural disaster, whenever that occurs in the area where you live, you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can start where you are. And I mean, I started by spending $50 a month. And over the course of
Okay.
several years, I had enough then to supply my neighborhood with what we all needed during the month we were without power and water. So it doesn't have to take a big, it doesn't have to be so difficult that it's not doable. It's possible. And it just starts with the willingness to connect with other people and get a prepping buddy and start preparing your household together. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I would love to be really specific. When you had neighbors come and they needed something, what were the things that people forgot that were very important? And when you talk about the $50 a month, what type of supplies would somebody need specifically to make sure
Yeah.
that, hey, this is going to help you through this
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah. So I would say the most important thing is a way to filter water. And one of the first things I purchased was a big water filter system, and also water bricks, water storage cubes that stack on each other and you can store water in. I had two neighbors. We live in a neighborhood with about 50 homes. Two of our neighbors had surgery the day before the hurricane, the day
Wow.
before we lost water and power. Neither of them had supplies.
Wow.
So I don't know what would have happened if we didn't have all this to share. And so, and if people want more, I'm about to, if they want to go to my website, Transforming Space, and sign up for my newsletter, I'm about to send out a newsletter with just a list of basics in supplies that I feel like we all need to have. But I would say water is one of the most important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What other seeds came up for you, ladies?
I would love to, I talk a lot about the seasons, like a lot of the work, my workshops and the work that I do are around the equinoxes and the solstices and, the wheel of the year. And one of the things that I really want to encourage people to do in their spiritual practice is pay attention to the seasons. And I know in places where the seasons don't change very much, like California or Florida or some of those other places, that's a little more difficult. But we still have the winter, spring, summer, and fall traditions to fall back on. And as our summer is dwindling down, we're moving into the space of fall equinox. So how can we pay attention to the fall and the shedding of the leaves so that we can root down and become dormant grow stronger in the spring? And how can we use the winter to plant the seeds of hope? Because winter solstice is actually, even though it's the longest, darkest night, it's about bringing back the light. It's a celebration of light. So how can we plant the seeds of the light we hope to be as we're moving into the spring? And then with the spring equinox, how can we literally plant the seeds and remember that those seeds take sunshine and dirt and water, and you have to talk to your plants and sing to them and tell them you love them. But what are you planting? Like, the spring is the season to really plant those seeds, and then the summer is the celebration of the harvest. And what are you harvesting in your life? What are you gathering in your life? And also to look at what's keeping you from doing those things. What's keeping you from that? And I love the moons. Like, the new moon is always when I plant new things, and the full moon's always when I allow things to release and let go. So there's a lot of things we can do cyclically to nurture the seeds that are sprouting with, that we want to plant within us, so that we can be more connected to the earth. And I think that I really want people to remember that we are of this land. We are not separate and above this land. And the revolution, the grace in the revolution, isn't always about protest and yelling and fighting, which is important. It's a very important way to exercise our voice. And also, so many of us are being called and compelled to engage in revolutionary practices that embody ourselves and the people that are around us in our communities. And that's how I think we are going to transform our communities.
So if you are listening, you are not seeing all of our head nods and our waving of hands and the love that is happening for all of those, for most of everything that's been said today, but also just for you were getting a lot of affirmation there, Dr. Bird. Like, thank you for that reminder. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm doing a online event for the harvest and Lammas, which is coming up, and I'm doing that this weekend. And then you were talking about really diving into your Celtic ancestors. I know Melody took a trip to do that, and I'm going to co-lead a pilgrimage next year to Ireland with a group of women that y'all will be hearing about. But that getting back to the land and really understanding where we come from, I think such deep wisdom, Dr. Bird. All right, wave at us if you want to go next, and oh, go ahead, Tracy, and then Cecile.
I will say this really quickly because I do have to jump, but I will just say, I think the one nugget I'd like to leave is hard things don't have to be hard. There's a lot of hard things happening around us, but I think with the right support and the right perspective, we can get through hard things and they don't have to be hard. So perspective is important, and having the right support, knowing what you need, may take a little while that you may have to like pull away and sit with yourself to see what you really need and be courageous enough to ask for it. But I think that would be the one seed I'd like to sow.
Thank you so much. Cecile, what came to mind for you?
Well, piggybacking on what everybody is saying, especially Dr. Bird talking about, things being cyclical and paying attention to that. And I, first of all, want to invite everyone, if you would sit up straight, let your belly hang out like nobody's watching, and then take a deep, nourishing breath from your belly and let that out with a sigh. And if I could just plant one seed, it would be to check in with your body. To check in with your body. Sit up straight, let your belly hang out, take a breath, and notice what you're feeling. And then my second seed would be paying attention to the cycles, like what Dr. Bird was saying. I know I have habits. Every new moon, every full moon, I am pushing out my house spiritually. I am switching out my stones to make sure that they're all charged, and that the ones that I need to have in the house, which ones are speaking to me that need to be out, which ones are speaking to me that I need to carry them with me. So paying attention to what your spirit is telling you that you need in the moment and throughout the day And you'll see the name of my business is Everyday Activism Habit, because it's like you said, it's not always about the protesting and the being loud and the following the crowd and figuring out what's the big thing now. It's about making the things a daily habit to create the community that you want to create. It's about pushing your boundaries just a little bit every day with the people that you see all the time to create the kind of community that you want to be in. And so everything you were saying, that's why my hands were up, because I was like, yes, this is that everyday activism habit kind of a thing that you were talking about. If you can keep asking the questions, it doesn't have to be in your face and challenging, that kind of way. You can just keep asking the question, who's missing? What are we not talking about here? Who's being silenced in this space? Who else do we need to hear from? Just asking those kind of things regularly changes the space. And that's the kind of thing that we can do every day. And so taking that breath, asking yourself, what do I need in this moment? And who else is not here that needs to be in this space? Just those few questions throughout the day can change the trajectory of whatever it is that you're working on.
Yum, yum, yum. All right, Sheila, I'm going to have everybody make sure you're on mute, because Sheila's sound is giving us a little trouble. But I'm going to go on mute, and then I want you to come off. And what seeds are you planting, Sheila?
Well, I've been spending time in the in-between times, in the thin times, in between the worlds. And when you do that, you discover that there's really only one thing that we have to be in touch with, and that's love. That's the only thing that, after everything is finished or done, that's what's left. We have a little thing we do in our class sometimes, because Shoyanka Rahim is one of our colleagues that she makes songs, and songs are great to help. Her song is loves, and during the time I was with my brother just recently, that I was singing that to him a lot, and it seems like you just turn into love. So that's where we're going. That's where we are sometimes. And so whatever we do it with love, and then that's really what makes it happen. So
yum, thank you.
Thank you.
And Shoyanka Rahim was within our first 10 episodes. She is a woman connected in wisdom, and is a part of our community. Bebo love. Thanks for shouting her out. Shannon Ivy, what seeds you planting?
Oh, it's hard to go after these brilliant women. I think the thing I could offer is that you're worth the time, even if the time is more than you ever thought. You're worth the time. Whatever it is that comes after that, it will be what, if it's a year, 10 years. Christine does this beautiful, if you had 5 minutes, what would you do? And sometimes I think, if I had a year, what would I do? Do you know? How much time can I allow to change into what I need myself and my circumstances, surroundings, 8 dimensions to be, so that I can live the best life I can live? I think it's worth the time to investigate that. That's what I got.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. Because I'm like, we talked about the businesses. We're getting to 5 years. Glow just got to 5 years. And even though most businesses don't make it to 5, right? Thank you for the snaps. I see you. I'm like, what about the rest of what we're supposed to get to? But it's worth the time to get there. You're absolutely right. Let me hold my horses or hold my dogs. That's what I was holding for those movies. Those were dogs. Okay. Who's next? Is it Eileen? Okay, Eileen, what you got for us?
Well, I think that I don't think people in this group that I'm looking at on my screen have an issue with this. You already understand this, but I think our world has been educated backwards. we have been taught if we want love in our life, we should go out and find it. Whereas, as you were saying, Sheila, what we really need to do is create and build love inside of us, and it will find us, it'll be reflected to us from outside. And so I talk with people about living a life from the inside out, not from the outside in, which is how we've been taught. And and I want to tie that into what's been going on in the world. I'm now in my 54th year as a psychotherapist, and I have gone through this process myself and helped a lot of people make major internal change. And the first thing that happens when you do that is you fall apart. And people think they're going crazy and there's something wrong with them and they can't make decisions and they don't sleep well and all of that. And they also think it's never going to end. And I believe that what is happening in our world right now is a larger version of that process. And so many people are frightened and thinking everything's going wrong, the world is going crazy, nothing's ever going to work out. And I know that all of you know this. It's making way for us as people who help and connect and work with and promote wellness and connection with nature and all the things we've been talking about. It's making way for us to move into that new way of living. And we're already embarked on it. One of the things, talk about being connected, that writing collaborative books, including yours, is that I now know people all over the world in all different circumstances that are doing this. And I was a solopreneur for 50 years and did everything by myself. And now I'm going, oh my gosh, there's so many people working to help the world. It's so wonderful. And so many looking after every aspect of life. So I want to plant the seed that everything is going just the way it's supposed to. There's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with the world. And the best thing you can do is to focus on loving yourself and taking care of yourself so that we all start living from the inside out and not trying to do the outside in living that we've been taught that doesn't work very well.
Can I just add one thing to that?
Yes.
I said earlier that like we are part of this big, we're part of the universe, we're part of the stars, part of the earth. Like, you know, this is the thing that I want people to remember the most, is to remember that we are of this planet. We're humans, right? We're peopling. That we are love and we are loved. Like the universe, the earth, the planet, the bugs, the trees, we are love at our, we resonate love. We come out of the womb love. We are love at our core, and it's the energy that moves through all of us, including the planet and the stars and everything else. And that it is the biggest revolution to understand that it's in here. We're born with this. And so I love what you said, Eileen. It's like, I feel like you just took me to church and I'm here for it.
Right? Well, and I also really heard you say we don't have to do it by ourselves. And that's what we know to be true as women connected in wisdom, is that first of all, we can't, because that's why a lot of our sisters aren't on the planet anymore, is because they tried to do it by themselves and it's too much. That when we're connected to each other and with each other and standing on each other's shoulders and, giving each other, I always think about that piggyback, like, where you do your hands like this and you lift somebody up, right? So they could, like, I think about that, like that we are stronger together, and that when we are connected and when we are collaborative instead of competition, like that when we come from that place of I see your beauty and I see your wisdom and I see your brilliance, and heck yes, let's do this together. Let's do it, because it's going to be
Yeah.
way more fun than if I'm over here slogging by myself. So,
Yeah, and I think about the quote, I think it's an old proverb. I think it's an African proverb, but I like to quote stuff correctly, so don't quote me on that, right? But it talks about if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And you can go fast all day, but you might end up in the wrong direction. Like now, look at you. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's been a pleasure doing it with you ladies and being a
Mm.
part and so interesting to be in my position, and to be able to support all of you and have you pour into me, like, and that's what we do for everybody that I hope comes in contact. So thank you so much.
Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for celebrating with us. It
Yeah.
just, we are because you are. And we are
Right.
just so grateful. And Dr. Bird put in our private chat, stay in the spiritual fire, let it cook you. Rumi. We're being cooked.
We're being cooked. Thank
Mm.
you for 200 wonderful episodes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
We
Yes,
love
you're
y'all
welcome.
so much, and we look forward to seeing you in person. We
Yes.
look forward to connecting. I'm putting all y'all's links in show notes, so show up at each other's events. I want to go out to Oregon and be at a rally with you, Dr.
Mm.
Bird. Like, ridiculously fun. Like, let's figure some of this
Yes.
out because I miss seeing y'all. And
Yeah.
thanks for coming today and being with us. And y'all been here almost the whole time, so it's okay if you want to drop off. We're heading towards close,
Yeah.
and just so grateful. Like,
Yeah.
I think at this point in our show, if you got to go, jump.
Love
But
you,
if
ladies.
not, you know what we usually do at this point in the
Yeah,
show
and I didn't think we were gonna get to do
is
it.
our wisdom in action.
Yes.
So let us know, what are you doing? What's your wisdom in action this week? What are you doing? What would you hashtag as your wisdom in action for our listeners this week? Sheila, what you doing? Oh,
I
hang
think
on,
you're still
friend.
muted.
Let's unmute you. Hang on.
So I don't
Go
know
ahead.
about hashtags.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure about hashtags. I can tell you that I'm just doing the next thing, and the next thing is that what I'm doing has been working, so now I'm going to do more of it, following what's working. So that's the principle, anyway.
Business gems right there. I love it.
Well, we would hashtag that as follow what works. I love it. And keep going.
And
And I'll
doing the
put the
next
song in
thing.
the show notes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was literally thinking about that earlier. I was rearranging the stuff for Shayla Glow, taking the pictures for the insurance and the lawyers for the stuff that was messed up in the move, right? And I didn't know where I was going to put this next set of boxes, but first is move this set, and then, oh, it's clearer. And I said, that's how life is. You know what I mean? It feels like you need to have everything in a row, but take this step, and the next one will be clearer. So I got you down with your hashtag, Sheila. Who wants to go next? I see you, Dr. Bird.
Uh, take the risk to follow your heart. That's what I'm doing. Like running for Congress right now against a candidate who's been in office for a couple years and taking that risk. Oh, it makes me a little weepy. I didn't know I was going to get all emotional about it. We have an expectation that when people run for office, they're professional. Our system is actually not built on professional politicians. It's built on regular, average, everyday Americans deciding that they want to lead in their community and help form policy to make lives better for everybody. And that is why I'm running for Congress, because we need politicians in office who are living everyday lives. And my wisdom and action for people is, if it is calling you, no matter the risk, just listen, just go, just do it. And it's amazing what comes.
Yes, amazing. Things exceed expectations on a daily basis. Yes, even with the nose and the tribulations and the knee surgery and the other knee surgery. I hear you. Okay, who has a hashtag for us?
Go,
I see
Melody.
Melody.
So mine will be grief work because today is the 28th anniversary of the accident that took my son Logan's life. And I planned the rest of the day. I had some clients this morning, but I planned the rest of the day to be spacious for myself. And this weekend, I will be at a grief retreat because even all this many years later, I still have grief. If I'm going to be a clear, clean, open channel for love to flow, I need to keep that channel cleared out. And the best way to do that for me is grief work.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
You said how many years? 28?
28. Yeah.
Oof, I hear you.
We miss
Yeah.
you, Logan.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 And it's beautiful to see how each of us who love Logan and have done our grief work are carrying him in the world with us, and embodying his sense of humor, his joy, his love. It's really beautiful to see this.
Thank you so much for sharing. I always
And
think about Dr. Collins' work and
you went, your mic got cut off, Shannon.
thank you so much. Thought about, here we go again. Let me move the mouse. I think about Dr. Collins' work and the spiral of the grief, and I'm so glad that you shared that, Dr. Collins, because it comes around. And after a certain amount of years, apparently people were having this conversation because I'm new over here, 6 years in. That's because I had two people that I knew from my family, so one is here and one is not, but to come around every year and to know that it's going to come around and it looks different and it's still there because you love this person, thinking about your work, Melody, and um, different places in the house to honor people. You know what I mean? Light a candle or sit some flowers, or, different people have different traditions that they do. But that definitely helps me in seasons like, yeah, y'all should see my burnt flowers. Hold on, let me show you. Share these flowers. They're so dry. Y'all see, it's been hot out here. Look at these flowers. Okay. These are the old ones. But I have this, I don't know if y'all know my amazing business partner. She buys me things as we celebrate. So she sent me some flowers and we're going to refresh it, but still acknowledging what's going on. I definitely hear you, Melody. And, I admire y'all's strength as somebody who looks forward to having children who hasn't had any yet, to hear your stories of having them and love
Them not being on the
transitioning.
planet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
but they're
transitioning.
here with us. I love you
Of
got to call
course.
his name today, Melody,
Yeah,
because I haven't been on social, so I didn't realize that that was today.
I think I knew it
And
was coming up.
thank you for sharing that with us. It's what
Yeah.
an honor, because I know him through you and through the pictures and the
Mm,
stories and the ceremony, and what a delightful human. And I'm so lucky to know him through you. So,
Thank you. Thank you both. Yeah.
yeah.
you're very welcome. Okay. Cecile, have you given? Eileen, you haven't given yours either, have you? Who wants to go next? Okay. I saw you pop on, Eileen. Go ahead.
I do because it will follow on, Melody, with what you're doing. I appreciate your strength. I see your joy in. I know you're talking about grief, but I see your joy uh, from having had your son in your life. And this month is a total month of celebrations. I have 7 birthdays and 1 anniversary in my family in a month and 3 days. And 11 days ago, my son turned 48. Today, my adopted daughter is turning 38. And tomorrow, my birth daughter is turning 55. So, this is a celebratory week for me, and uh, 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 bouncing off of what Dr. Bird was saying. I had a very challenging childhood, and uh, lost my birth mother when I was 2, for example. And when I was 5, I had the opportunity to go and live for a year with my grandparents on their farm. And so I learned about milking a cow and petting baby kitties and, uh, you know, canning tomatoes, whatever was going on the farm. I was there for a year, and I also got to be an only child, which I really needed at that point. And where I am right now, there's a little 3-year-old, a little girl whose name is Amelia, but she's called Mimi. She calls herself Mimi. And I got permission. I've been here for a year living in these people's backyard. I got permission to grow a vegetable garden. And when on Mother's Day, when I told my son about it, he said, "Mom, you're so important to this little Mimi. I'm going to make a box for her to have a garden." And we put strawberries and watermelons and edible flowers in her box. And she's 3, and she and her mother go out and check every day. Mimi has even learned to let the strawberries ripen all the way before she eats them. And now her mother is making a larger bed just for Mimi. But my son, for Mother's Day, gave me the flower bed so that this child could connect with growing also. And I'm celebrating these wonderful things.
That's beautiful.
I would hashtag that, Eileen, grow your garden. Right? Like, that's a wisdom in action. That's so smart. Now, Cecile, I know you put yours in your private chat, but I'd love to hear you speak it in your voice, friend.
Yeah, well, I'm always going to hashtag for breath. So when hashtag is a nursing breath, I'm always encouraging people to take one. As a matter of fact, sit up straight, let your belly hang out like nobody's watching, and take a nourishing breath. And let that go and make some noise. Wiggle. Whatever feels good in your body. And then my second one is hashtag self-check-in. I cannot encourage that enough. So many times people go through their day, week, month without checking in how they're doing. I know for a fact that I used to be like that. Like, I just got to do the next thing. I just do the next thing and just keep going until you drop dead tired in the bed and you get up and you just keep going because it feels like so much. But then when you pause and take a breath and check in with yourself, you can ask yourself, is this mine to hold? Do I really need to be doing this? Is this something that really belongs to somebody else? Am I carrying more than what's mine? So those check-ins are so, so, so important.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Dropping those nuggets. Shannon, what you got this week? What's your wisdom in action?
I'm gonna take a page from Cecile's book and hashtag, and it's supposed to be action, right? But it's a concept, mind to hold. Like, what's mine to hold? Whether it's knowing the numbers, space for myself, as I build the schedule in this new state, figuring out which day Sunday is energetically, what do my hours need to look like? What is, my business, minding my business. That's how I think about it, mind to hold. And I was thinking about the hashtag from last week was coloring, right? I showed my coloring book, y'all. Because Cecile, I finished yours. Okay, so I'm waiting on the next one to come out. I got you.
Right?
Okay, I see you. So I've been coloring, and me moving the schedule yesterday and instead saying, let me put this down. I need to pour into myself before I do this episode 200. That was like me coloring in my schedule differently, so it's still kind of the same thing. And I need to stay in that vein. So hashtag mind to hold.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you. What about you?
I think mine is going to be hashtag celebrate. Like, this is a big milestone for us. And so taking a moment to pause, to celebrate. I got a lot of balls I'm juggling, no surprise to anybody. But like, just taking a moment to really, like, when we get off the air, to celebrate, to have a little ceremony, to I've been saying thank you all day to our listeners and to our guests and all our Women Connecting Wisdom, but just really also taking a moment with myself to appreciate y'all. This is a lot of work, y'all. Shannon knows, like, 200 episodes is nothing to sneeze at. I think the average right now is most podcasters don't make it past 10. They call it pod fade. Melody, you're one of the ones up here with us. Like most people don't make it past 10 episodes because it's a lot of work.
It is. And I'm proud of the average increase because it was 4. You know what I
It
mean? When we
was 4,
started, it was
and
4.
latest
So 10 is
statistics
like more than
now
double. But
it's right.
I hear
But
you.
we talk about this a lot on the air and with each other,
Mhm.
but celebrate. It's okay to pause and celebrate and
Yeah.
take it in. And I use the word in interplay a lot, savor.
So
I think so. It's going to be celebrate and savor this week.
can we honor that and take a little more time because it may take us more than this like
Mhm.
13 seconds that we have. But I wouldn't say struggling with this, but I would love more tools in my tool belt. And I think y'all can help me with how to celebrate and like free
Mm.
items. Okay. So like we can go on the trips and all this stuff and build the itinerary.
Mhm.
No alcohol. Okay. We don't love a good lemon drop, but that's off the list right now, ladies. What else are we doing? How else can we celebrate when things come up?
Mm.
Because I feel like a lot of us could use more things to do. What do y'all do?
Well, I have some ideas, but I'm going to let our experts in the room. How
Okay.
would they celebrate?
And if y'all need
Music
spacing,
and dancing.
okay.
Seriously,
Mhm.
when I hear celebrate, I automatically think of music. And I have been the DJ on a lot of meetings this week. So I'm just saying, music has got to be a part of it.
Right? What you
Okay.
got, Eileen?
I see
I
you,
would go
Eileen.
for a hike in nature.
I do love a good adventure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Flowers. Give yourself some flowers.
Right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you got, Sheila?
Yep. And I
Oh,
need to talk to Mimi, Eileen, because mine were burned.
Sorry,
Crazy.
I'd unmuted Sheila and she said dance. I heard her say dance. We had the echo, but yep. I
Do
lit
we
a
want to get the
candle
clear
for us.
audio? I can give her a second. So her clear audio. What do you think?
It's okay. I think we got it.
Okay.
I think we
I'm
got
sorry,
it.
Dr. Collins.
Does that have enough for your toolkit for this week, Shannon?
I think that'll work, y'all. We got some dance, some music. We have candles, love candles, and tea lights are not expensive. You know what I mean? So if that's what we can do, that's what we can do. And a lot of good things. A lot of good things.
Mm.
Outside adventures are usually free for people too. Maybe some gas or
Mhm.
maybe parking, maybe.
Can I add one more?
But yeah, please.
A phone call. Get
Yeah.
somebody celebrating with you.
Mhm.
Whoop, whoop,
Share
whoop,
the
whoop.
joy.
What do you
Yeah.
think this last
Good
2
boy.
hours has been, friend?
Yes. Us
I'm just
celebrating
saying.
200.
Share the joy.
A good reminder for
Thank
people.
you
Thank you.
so much, y'all, for being here with us. We are so grateful for y'all. We're gonna put y'all back in the green room because we're gonna close the show, the two of us. But
Okay.
we are so glad y'all made it to hear your
Yes.
voices, to hear your wins, to just be in community and connection with you. And we are just so proud to know each and every one of y'all.
Yeah.
So,
Thank both of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you. And congratulations.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Let's stay connected.
Yes, we will.
Mhm.
Mm. Woo, friend.
What a good party.
Right?
Yeah.
200 episodes. I want to be sure before we close out to give a
Yes.
very special shout out to Sati Mara.
Sati.
Sati, we were hoping
Shati.
she'd join us today, but I know she had some stuff going on.
Okay.
Sati is our behind the scenes Women Connected in Wisdom. She's been one of our guests on the show.
Yes.
She is incredible
One of our
and
authors.
does our audio production every week. Listens is probably the one person besides Joe and Shannon
Shout
and
out
I
to
that have
Joe.
listened to 200 episodes.
Right. And the only reason I've listened to them is because I'm here for them. Like they are,
Right.
yeah, they're above us on that list, I think.
So
Yeah.
Sati is definitely,
Yeah.
and she makes us look good, and
Yeah.
just so grateful
Thank you,
for
Sati.
her, and as always, like grateful to our listeners and the people that tune in.
Yeah.
If you haven't, it really does help us if you subscribe and put notifications when we're coming on and like our stuff, and really if you give us a 5-star review and a little
Yes.
1 to 3 sentence story about how you love us, it helps us huge,
Let
big
us
big
know.
ways. So
Yeah. Let us know the
anything else
impact
you
it
want to
could take.
say, friend, before we close out episode 200?
Yeah, and that's what I would say. I used to struggle with writing my papers if my teachers didn't give me a subject, you know what I mean? And I know
Mhm.
ChatGPT helps with that a lot now, but if you have something that's been a specific impact for you from our guests, from the resources that we shared over the last 200 episodes, that would be great. Why you love us, absolutely, and how we've helped would be great. So we know how to tailor
Mm.
the next few episodes, but
The next 200. We have
right.
some incredible guests coming for
My
y'all.
goodness, this
Mm.
queue is amazing for 2026. I'm excited about it.
Right.
Okay, anything else you want to add before we skedaddle?
No,
All
just my
right,
heart
Joel.
is full and just thank
Yes,
you. Like
thank
couldn't
you.
have done it without you, friend.
Yes,
So
thank you
this
so
has
much.
been a journey. It's
Yeah,
so
it has
fun.
been. Yeah, it has been. All right, y'all. We'll see you live next week for episode 201. In the meantime, be well, be wise, be whole. Peace.